Hello friends, welcome to this 15 minutes yoga for runners. So I'm going to share my stretching routine before I go for a run. You can also do it before and also after the running session, as we are going to work with our hips, stretch out our hamstrings, quads, and also shoulders. It is suitable for all levels. So without further ado, let's start in the downward facing dog, pushing our tailbone up towards the sky. As you inhale, take your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step it in between your hands, finding a runner's lunge. So just starting to rock your hips backward and forward. Bring your heel down, just opening up our hips. Then straighten our front leg, coming into a pyramid pose, wild leg pyramid pose, folding towards our front leg. You can also flex your front foot, lifting up the toes, just feeling the sensations on your hamstrings and your legs. Stay here for a few more breaths. Then bring our front foot down, coming into a low lunge. Drop the back heel down, sending our arms up towards the sky. Maybe adding a little bit back bend here by arch your back. Then release your both arms down and sending our hips back, finding a half split, flexing your toes. Just noticing the sensations on your hamstrings here, folding your forehead towards your front leg. Keep breathing. Then step forward, lifting up your chest, coming into our Anjaneyasana low lunge. Exhale, shifting your hips back. So we are going to do 5 rounds in total, moving through these 2 motions, opening up our hips and hamstrings. On your last round, coming back into the low lunge, lifting up your torso, lifting up your chest. We are going to add a quad stretch by reaching back heel closer towards our hips. You can use your both hands to grab that foot closer towards your body, finding some balance and stability. Pulling your foot closer towards your glutes to intensify the stretch. And release your legs, lifting up your legs and step it back into downward facing dog. Let's do this on the other side. On your next inhale, left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, sending it forward into runner's lunge, resting on your fingertips, or maybe you have 2 blocks to create some space, just rocking backward and forward. Few more rounds here. Really focusing on opening up our hips. Then we're going to straighten our front leg, folding towards our front leg. Wild leg pyramid pose. Maybe flexing your front foot, adding more intensity on our hamstrings. Feeling your both legs, the muscles activated. Then coming down on your low lunge, drop your back heel down, lifting up your chest, your arms up. Maybe adding a little bit back bend here, arching your back. Then release your both hands down back to the mat and slowly shifting our hips back, straighten our front leg, folding our forehead towards our front leg. Opening the hamstrings on the left side. Two more breaths here. And slowly stepping, bring our front foot forward, hips forward. As you exhale, bring it back. So repeat 5 times as you inhale, moving forward into low lunge. As you exhale, moving back to half split. Really bring your awareness on your hamstrings and your hips. Connecting the movement with your breath. Then we land in the low lunge here, lifting up your torso. We're going to bend the back knee, so you can use your both hand to bring the back foot closer towards your glutes. So this is quite intense for our quads. If you have knee problems, you are welcome to put some cushion underneath your knees. And release, bring your both hands down back to the mat, step your foot back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sending your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step it in between your hands, drop your back heel down, lifting your chest up, low lunge. From here, we are going to pivot our back knee 90 degrees out, facing towards the side of the mat. And extending your arms, a variation of the warrior 2. And from here, just moving your hips forward and back. A few more rounds. Keep your front leg 90 degree angle. And straighten our front leg. Bring our left hand on the back side of the mat. And reach that arms up and over towards your ears, finding a supported side plank, a big side body stretch. And slowly release, pivoting yourself back to the top of the mat, transitioning into a Skandasana, facing towards the left side of the mat. You can flex your left toes, opening up your hamstrings and hips, maybe hands in the prayer. And slowly bring your both hands down back to the mat. Use the help of your hands to lifting up your hips, coming into a wild leg forward fold stance, feet hip distance apart. Inhale to halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Keep your both legs straight, pointing your tailbone as high as you can towards the mat. Try to bring your crown of the head closer towards the mat. Slowly come back to the top of the mat. You can bring your both hands inside of the right knee, finding a lizard pose here. Adding a quad stretch. Can kick the back heel closer towards your glutes and sending your right hand back to grab that foot into your hands. So as you're grabbing that foot closer towards your glutes, you are adding the intensity of this stretch. Opening up your chest, take your gaze back. And release, coming into a lizard pose. Either stay on your hands or coming down into your forearms. Allow your right side of the hip to open. Sending all your breath down towards your hips. 5 deep breaths here. If you are on your forearms, you can slowly coming back on your hands and starting to lift your left knee, left leg. Just rocking your hips backward and forward and take a big step back into a high plank. Pushing through your arms, lifting up into an upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do this sequence on the other side. On your next inhale, left leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that foot in between your hands, drop your right knee down, and sending your arms up, lifting up your torso. And slowly pivoting your back foot 90 degrees out and extending your arms to the side, to your right side. Then keep your front leg 90 degree bend here and starting to move your hips forward, back and forward. Stretch out your IT bands through this movement. Straighten your front leg and bring your right hand on the back side of the mat and sending your arms up and over, a big side body stretch. Finding some lengthening. And coming back to center, bring yourself back to the top of the mat. Then once again, we're going to pivot ourselves to the side of the mat, bending into our left knee, finding a Skandasana on the other side. Right toes flexed, keep it flexed so we can stretch out our hamstrings. Hands in prayer if you can, otherwise you can always use the hands to support if it is too intense. And slowly bring your hands to the mat, using the help of your hands to lifting up your hips, finding your feet parallel to each other. Wild leg forward fold stance, slowly lifting up your torso. This time we're going to add a little bit stretch on our shoulders. Interlace your fingers back. Inhale, lifting up your chest. Straighten your spine. As you exhale, slowly dive forward. Try to bring your hands away from your body. Feeling the stretches on your upper shoulder, upper back. And release, bring your both hands down back to the mat, slowly moving yourself to the top of the mat. Your hands come to inside of your left foot. Walk a few inches out, creating some space and finding a lizard pose. First, with the quad stretch, you can kick the back heel closer towards your glutes and send your left hand back to grab that foot into your hands. Try to bring that foot closer towards your glutes as much as you can. One more breath. And slowly release. Let go of your right foot. Finding your version of lizard pose. Either stay on your hands or come all the way down on your forearms. Starting to relax your head. Just allow it to drop. Few more breaths here. And slowly coming back on your hands, lifting up your right knee, lifting up your right leg. Just starting to rock your weight, your hips backward and forward. Then step your left leg back into high plank, lowering down into your elbows. Inhale, pushing through your hands, lifting up your chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing your tailbone up, downward facing dog. From here, slowly walking your feet towards your hands, Bring your feet hip distance apart. Keep your knees bent as much as you need. You can start to grab the opposite elbows. Start to swing side to side. Option to add the stretch on your shoulders by extending your shoulders back and interlace your fingers. Just rocking your hips left and right. And slowly release your arms down, pushing through your feet. Rise up inch by inch, coming back to standing. Inhale, take your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, release. This is the end of this practice. Thank you so much for practice with me. See you on the next one. Namaste.